Welcome to Musings and Modalities. I'm your host, Tristen Stawicki. Think of me as your pragmatic shaman bestie. Join in with other high-vibe, lovely people as I unravel spiritual ideas to help create change and growth in your life. I cover a variety of spiritual topics, sharing knowledge to meet you wherever you are in your journey. As a shaman, astrologer, and human design reader, I help you understand how to make informed decisions and incorporate different modalities using discernment in your own intuition. Today, you will gain powerful shamanic healing tools you can use to incorporate spiritual practices in non-traditional ways. Whether you're just beginning or need a knowledgeable best friend with the next phase of your journey, I'm here to help. Stay tuned. Musings and Modalities starts now. And welcome to Musings and Modalities. I'm Tristen Stawicki, your pragmatic shaman bestie, and for the next 30 minutes, we'll be diving into human design. Human design is another spiritual tool that uses your birth time, place, and location as a framework that provides insights into how you are. With birth charts, which is the other spiritual tool that uses that information, the focus is really on the universe's blueprint for your life and the experiences you'll have in this lifetime. Human design's focus is using specific insights about yourself to get you there, to get you to that, end goal, to get you to your path in a more direct way and in perhaps an easier fashion as well. So your unique birth chart is a blueprint that really guides fated opportunities and self-expressions. And human design really provides a manual for how your energy works. Through working with human design, you can understand your decision-making processes, you can have clarity on your life's purpose, and you can learn how to work with your energy to feel fulfilled and happy. So human design, what even is that? Like most of the tools, that I've talked about on the show or that are available to us, it's not a belief system in any capacity. It does encompass frameworks or mechanics from other tools like the I Ching, astrology, the chakra system, Kabbalah, and quantum mechanics. This framework really places you in an energy type. And this is kind of a piece of human design that I wanted to focus on today. It is incredibly complex. There are many certifications and different ways you can learn about it, but I wanted to give you kind of the most relatable parts of human design for you to kind of have an introduction to it. So there are 5 total energy types, and those are generators, projectors, manifestors, reflectors, and it's sort of a hybrid energy type of manifesting generator, or Manny-Gen for short. Each of the human design energy types have ways they thrive and are supported in their environments and activities. In addition to energy types, human design also uses what's called authority and strategy. And your authority is where and how you make decisions, and your strategy is the way you move through life and your experiences. And one of the main strengths of human design is that it articulates things you know or have recognized and names them. And for those of you who may have had birth chart readings or incredible healing sessions or anything like that, where you've kind of gotten validation, you're like, oh, that is the way I am, or that is how I really fall into flow or have been successful in my life, and I just couldn't speak to it. I just couldn't name it. And so this is really helpful. And this really makes it so you can set up a conscious effort to be successful and to really set up yourself to thrive in all facets of your life, which we absolutely love. And, that's why we're here. And if you're already like, okay, that's a lot, because human design can be dense. I've already talked about a few different things. That's because it really is a blend of modern and ancient science. And it's filled with nuance. And if you've ever seen a human design chart, it looks really intimidating. Like it almost looks like if you opened up a car and like started looking at an engine in any capacity, and you're like, I don't understand anything of how this works, right? And it's super, super intimidating. So human design, to talk a little bit about the background of it, first came to us through Ra Yu Ru Hu, the founder and messenger of this framework. Ra had a mystical experience with a voice over 8 days, and during this time, the transmission for human design was sent to him. From this spiritual download, he devoted the rest of his life to developing and sharing this system with others. And others have added to it, updated it a bit, but we really want to acknowledge Ra's contribution and thank him for this knowledge. All right, so there is a lot to cover in today's episode, even with just touching on the 5 energy types. Your energy type is a framework that really guides your strengths, where and how you put your energy into something, and opportunities for growth. And each energy type interacts with the world in a different way. The least common energy type are reflectors, which make up about 1 to 2% of the population. Manifestors are about 10% of the population, projectors around 25%, and the final two energy types of generators and manifesting generators, I've seen a few different estimates. They've pretty fairly evenly split the remaining difference at around 32%. Typically, most people just say that generators make up close to 70% of this, but obviously it's a little bit, it's losing the nuance that there are generators and manifesting generators in that. Each energy type has very different needs and reaction time to events. So I wanted to start with the most common type and my personal energy type of generators. So generators are builders, and they're really vital to have and a large percentage in the community, right? We need people that are the doers and they're able to create and build incredible things. And they're really able to raise up the energy of the collective. And what kicks off this energy is really generators are in a receptive state. And we've talked about a receptive state a few times on this show, but really it's being able to receive. You're not yearning for something, you're not trying to like force it to come to you. You're just accepting, what the universe kind of provides to you. And with generators, they kind of stay in that state as much as possible, right? And they wait to respond until there's an invitation, an opportunity, something that really like lights the match for them, something that starts the spark. And once that spark is lit, that match is lit, they focus on energy and they have such a strong intensity with their energy that is so, so cool. And as long as they're doing what really resonates with them and their values, they can kind of keep chugging along. Now, they do not have infinite energy, right? There is a finite energy resource, but it's very different energy than the other ones we'll talk about. With this energy type, working on something you are passionate about means you can really make huge strides very, very quickly. However, with that, when you work on projects or tasks that don't light you up, anger, frustration, and feeling very unfulfilled can be kind of all-consuming. The aura of a generator is full of vitality and enthusiasm and resilience, right? There's a warmth to them and a glow about them, especially when they are fulfilled by the work they are doing. Some opportunities for generators to protect their energy is really to try to avoid burnout or negative reactions. Um, and that is really to limit what they say yes to. The word no needs to be their best friend. They also should not expect the other energy types to have the same level of fire that they do. They really need to listen to their instincts and gut reactions as a key to uncovering their passion and purpose, right? They need to follow their yes. Being stuck is so draining to this energy type, so having strong boundaries and the ability to leave a project or situation is so vital to keeping their energy up. With holding all of this energy, there is a need to use it up before trying to sleep at night, right? So you can think about it when you're working on something exciting, especially if you have this energy type, you need to be really careful because if you start to work on something very late in the evening, you can really experience challenges with trying to shut off your brain, right? And that's kind of hard. So I, for each energy type, wanted to share kind of 3 call outs. So 3 call outs for generators are you have the responsibility to wait to respond for the next incredible opportunity. This means frequently releasing anything that is draining or holding you back so that you can stay in vibrational alignment to attract these opportunities. For the second kind of key call out, follow what you love to. Despite conventional wisdom, naysayers, or well-intentioned advice from others, really carve your own path that follows the opportunities that come to you. And for the third call out, let your energy guide you. Sometimes that means slow mornings, other times that means jam-packed days. Really just sit with where you are and try to use up as much energy as you can without burning yourself out and really try to see, what you need throughout each day. Awesome. So we're going to move on to the next energy type, which are manifesting generators. And as you can kind of tell from the name and the list I gave of the energy types at the beginning of the episode, manifesting generators have traits from the types of manifestors and generators, which is so, so cool and special. So manifestors are given and gifted with incredible ideas, and they really hold the vision. And generators are able to get stuff done. And so this energy type of manifesting generators is really able to bring their vision to life really, really quickly. This energy type is not able to niche down in any capacity. They are multi-passionate and always on the move. There is a magnetism and warmth, a bit of adventure. There's a bit of adventurousness to their aura. There's a level of talent and true innovation in the projects and ideas that they share with the world. And with having multiple passions and simultaneous projects, for short, can struggle with overcoming and overloading themselves. They might try to circumvent necessary steps without having a strong foundation for an endeavor. Their expectations of others may not match that person's ability. When you are so adaptable and versatile, it's easy to get drained and not realize where your energy is going. Gens should wait to respond like generators, and they should also inform, right? So essentially, when an opportunity comes to them, they should wait until they have an inner knowing if this is a yes or a no. And then they should inform those impacted by this decision before moving forward. And that is key for them. The goal with this energy type is to achieve satisfaction and peace. For sleep, unlike generators, who should typically wait to get into bed unless they are really tired, gens can wind down by reading or other passive activities until their energy is fully released. So I have 3 callouts for manifesting generators. The first is to inform and almost lean towards over communicating if you aren't seeing the results or action from people that you would expect. The second one is to surround yourself with inspiration through your environment and how you schedule your day and your community. If something isn't inspiring, unfollow it, detach from it, get it out of your sphere of influence. And for the third one, follow your personal satisfaction and instincts, as whatever you put your energy into that's in alignment will benefit you and your community. Unlike generators and gens, manifestors can kickstart ideas and can create their own momentum on ideas and projects. This energy type is able to invite other people, to join their projects and initiatives, which is really, really cool. And as natural innovators, manifestors are driven by a need to bring their vision and ideas for the future to life. They have a unique take and are gifted with big, bold energies that either attract those that want to help their cause, or it repels those who aren't an energetic match. And with bold ideas comes a need for strong autonomy. Manifestors can bring a bit of the my way or the highway energy to keep the focus on the vision they are working to achieve. There's a protective and self-contained element to this energy. And the strategy for manifestors is to initiate and inform. So they create the idea, protect the idea, and share the idea with others who will either be attracted or repelled by it. And it's not the manifestor's job to ask others for permission or to worry about the reaction of others in any way. Really, it's once others do react, it's for them to kind of take note of who uses their gifts to help bring their dreams to a reality and who doesn't, right? And when operating in alignment, experiencing peace and calmness is really the experience manifestors create. For sleep, like manifesting generators, it's common and recommended for them to unwind in bed for at least an hour. So 3 callouts for manifestors. The first is really noticing and observing is really, really vital for them. This includes kind of noticing your impact, your energy levels, and where you are staying small. The second is to fully back yourself. This means making space for magic and to allow any nudges or hints of ideas from the universe. And the third is, as an initiator, it can be challenging to find the balance between leading and collaborating, right? So we've covered the first three kind of energy types, and now we're moving on, and there have been some similarities, right, between them. Now we're going to move on to projectors. And projectors, you can really start to see the differences in the energy types, right, that are a little less subtle. And so projectors have this almost oracle-like ability to see the heart of the matter. They see the truth, and they see this deeply in others. And with this ability, they offer clear guidance and wisdom to others who are able to receive it. And that's really, really key here. As teachers and guides to the other energy types, they have the least amount of excess energy and must be really, really narrowly focused on where they spend their time. Rest is vital for projectors, and they are deeply sensitive and intuitive beings. When they aren't resting or enjoying downtime, they really shine in really, really small groups, like three or fewer people, and they really shine one on one. And that's where they can freely kind of share their insights without fighting to be heard. Recognition is key to unlocking the magic of projectors, and they want to be acknowledged and actively invited to engage with others. When this invitation is granted, projectors are allowed to blossom and openly share all of their incredible insights. Now, there is an intensity and kind of penetrating focus to their aura, which could be kind of intimidating, right? And like all great mentors, they are able to uncover the things unsaid and see the potential of those in their sphere. Given that the pace for projectors is unable to really match the energy types, especially like that of a generator or those with more excess energy, they can really be prone to overworking themselves and holding themselves to a higher standard than necessary. You know, if you are a projector and you're in that energy type, the world really isn't set up for you to be supported and taking rest, right? It's really, really challenging to acknowledge your output just looks different than most of the rest of the collective. And there's also a need with recognition with projectors. And with needing recognition, it's important to consistently evaluate friendships, relationships, and projects to make sure they are still a fit. The strategy for projectors is to wait for an invitation, the right invitation, and receive recognition. And when alignment, feeling successful and experiencing just high levels of success validates they are on the right track. Now, for sleep, like manifesting generators and manifestors, it's recommended for them to unwind in bed for at least an hour before falling asleep and to take special care to remove any energy that's been picked up throughout the day that is not theirs. So, three callouts for projectors. The first is self-worth and strong boundaries are so important for this energy type so that they don't chase recognition from unworthy people or try to measure their worth and value to society by their productivity. Rest and taking downtime are as important to your body as water and other necessary needs. Your strength is knowing when to stop, gather your reserves, and then be precise and effective in your efforts. And the third call out for projectors are to explore topics that they're curious about and really, take time in nurturing your own knowledge and gifts. All right, now we're going to move into reflectors, which are the least common, most rare, and are incredibly cool. And reflectors function differently than, any of the other example types we've talked about today. Reflectors are frequently referred to as celestial or lunar beings, as the moon and her position in their birth chart can really affect their aura, personality, and just overall chart, right? So if you are a reflector, this is so interesting and cool, but it's recommended that you wait a full lunar cycle before major life impacting choices, big decisions. And if you're, you know, trying to make a big decision, it's hard. That's a full lunar cycle is like 28 days, right? And to wait that time before moving forward with those really challenging choices and significant decisions, um, It can feel like one of the more challenging elements to move to and to learn. If you're familiar with the energy type of the sign of Cancer in astrology, reflectors really embody many of the same traits. They are naturally intuitive, they're impacted by the kind of collective energy, their home, the environments they're surrounded themselves in. There's a chameleon element to their energy, and based on the situation, they can kind of reflect the energies they're surrounded by, hence their name. And like projectors, reflectors also really need downtime, and especially time alone, as the ability to feel others' energy and the energy of the cosmos and the collective so innately can be very draining. The strategy for reflectors is to wait to be included. And for most of the energy types above, it's key to be in a receptive state, which is so, so challenging. I've touched on this a little bit, but I don't want to breeze past kind of that point that waiting for aligned opportunities, especially when you're in a crappy situation, if you hate your job, life is super hard, you're trying to find a new house, like anything like that, it's one of the most challenging things we're asked to do. But when in alignment, and when you're able to kind of have those opportunities come to you, your energy is just ready for it and you're really able to shine and move past things. Now, for reflectors specifically, when they're in alignment, the element of surprise, having small delights, and childlike joy is experienced. And when they have that in their days, there's a nudge and a clear sign that reflectors are right where they need to be. Reflectors act as a mirror where others will see the elements of themselves. They are deeply connected to the cosmos, planetary transits, and they can also experience astrology in a way other energy types are unable to. And with so few reflectors in the world, their gentle, fluid, and accepting nature is incredibly supportive and collaborative. For sleep, like manifesting generators, projectors, manifestors, it's recommended for them to unwind in bed for at least an hour before falling asleep and to also take care to remove any energy that's been picked up throughout the day. I have three callouts for our reflectors. The first is that environment is everything, right? So if there's a place or a situation that isn't supporting you or matching your energy, leave it. The second is like the moon, you have a natural pace and rhythm. And it's really an opportunity to honor that, to take the time you need to validate which choice is aligned. And the third is to prioritize time in nature. Know what is happening with the moon, listen to your inner knowing, and don't try to follow what society is doing. All right, so for my BFFs only tip, I wanted to share the ways I've used human design in my own life to change key habits. So, as a generator, I've been able to change quite a bit in my life over the past few years, actually, based on kind of some recommendations with my own chart. And so I've completely changed how I search for jobs. Instead of sending my resume out or initiating a job search, I, do the basic things, update my resume, my LinkedIn, and then I wait, right? I wait to respond to an opportunity to interview. I wait for people to, come to me with networking, things like that. And that's the exact way I've actually been selected for my last three roles. And it's really been helpful for me to stop wasting my energy in an endeavor that isn't suited to it. So to stop kind of sending out my resume every place or taking all that time I need. I've also been really given myself permission to fill up more of my days and to craft my evenings so I have kind of safeguards in place to get out all of the extra and excess energy before trying to sleep. And for my specific makeup in human design, I need to eat and digest foods in an energized state, which means that I need to move around, have the TV on, and basically do all of the things that aren't generally recommended for good eating habits. And much of my own personal experience with human design has been to unlearn kind of societal rules and guidance that doesn't suit what I need. So, as I go into the recap, I really hope it's You've had fun learning about human design. It's such a useful tool for kind of deep diving into your chart to uncover the environments you thrive in, how you show up in relationships. Though I didn't cover it today, it can also guide how you parent as an energy type, the energy type of children, and what their needs are, which are very different. And it can also reveal your gifts and provides guidance on how to use them without feeling frustrated or burnt out. And though the focus today was on energy types, which is a part of a much more extensive framework that makes up human design, there is a reason why my human design readings are a minimum of 90 minutes. There's so much more to discuss. A few key callouts are things like profiles, gene keys, channels, variables, and so much more that's personalized to you. Thank you so much for watching Musings and Modalities with me, your pragmatic shaman bestie. Tune in the second and fourth Mondays of each month at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern for more fabulous episodes. If you haven't worked with me before, I'm offering a free 30-minute call for chakra clearing and balancing, and that's where I'll use Reiki to remove energetic blockages, align your energy, and replenish where you're feeling a bit depleted. My human design readings, as I've mentioned, use your birth time, date, location, and provide insights into how you work best, make decisions, and the environments in which you thrive. All sorts of insights that we discussed today, and much, much more that can help you feel and be the best version of yourself. Both of those offerings and more can be found at musingsandmodalities.com. Thank you for listening. You've been listening to Musings and Modalities with me, Tristen, your pragmatic shaman bestie. For more powerful healing tools, join me every second and fourth Monday at 8 a.m. Pacific on Transformation Talk Radio. I cover a variety of topics to meet you wherever you are at on your spiritual journey. Learn techniques to work with pendulums, past life healing, astrology, and more. Please share the show and subscribe for more guidance from your pragmatic shaman bestie at musingsandmodalities.com.